gentlemen, your big breaking TV. Welcome to Primetime, bitch.
My name's Dewey Oxberger. My friends call me Ox. You might have noticed I've got a slight weight problem.
No.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah, I do. Anyway, I went to this doctor, and he told me I swallowed a lot of aggression, along with a lot of pizzas. Pizzas. I'm basically a shy person. I'm a shy guy.
All right, my lovelies, my lords. Oh my God, I can't speak today. It's Sunday. What are you gonna do? No, my lovelies, my lords, lads, do sugars and my sugar lilies and my sugar mountains and my mountain lilies and my mountain laurel and my sugar mountain laurels on the moon. And sometimes on Mars. That's right. Sometimes on Mars. Is there life on Mars? I don't know. I hope so. Anyway. Hope you like that little introduction. So, what are we doing? Kohberger. I don't know. I want to look at some of the traffic stops. Why? Because this is pretty much the only footage we ever see of him talking and interacting, right? There's virtually no right, you guys know this. There's virtually no footage of him actually having a long conversation with anybody, socializing with anybody. He's certainly not sitting down to do an interview with anybody, right? So these are all the, right, you guys know this. These are all the stuff we got to go on, right? This is what we have to go on. So I want to start with the traffic stop. Now, we saw it a little bit last night, right, in that video. This is the Associated Press one. This is the full, well, not the, it's the fuller one. Very brief, but I don't know. I want to start with that, maybe look at some of the other traffic stops to see if there's any type of contrast between his mannerisms, his speech, any body language. You're not going to be able to see that too much because he's sitting in the car. But there's something about this traffic stop, however, because, hey, why are we doing this? Number one, what's the point of this? Well, he's the person who took the plea, right? So, again, we can't avoid him, right? He's the ogre under the bridge, right? He's there, right? Yeah. Or he's the person standing in your moat when you're trying to go home and go to your castle, right? He doesn't move. He doesn't leave. So we have to address him. We have to. I have not, the way I wanted to, I have not addressed him as thoroughly as I want to, at least up until this point. So I want to start with traffic stops. I want to get an idea of kind of his, like, what he looks like, how he talks. What does he look like when he's speaking? What's his tone of voice? Is there anything that we can glean from this, right? So we're going to start with the body. We're going to start with the traffic stops. All right. Let's go. And yes, Stanley, he had to pull a late one last night. So he will be on here later. I'm sure you're going to hear from him. I got that feeling. So, well, let's go. All righty. Here we go.
Hey there. I stopped you going a little fast. You realize this is 35?
Oh, it's 35?
It is, yeah. So you go...
41?
Yeah, 43 is what the radar said.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Do you have your license, the registration, insurance?
Okay.
Were you wearing your seatbelt when I stopped you?
No.
No? That's no good.
Just being honest with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You guys are... There's absolutely no point not being honest.
Yeah.
You have a radar.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a vehicle registration slip or something like that? Okay.
Or did I give you my insurance?
Yeah, this is your insurance. That's good. Thing is, I'm on a overtime shift right now. One of the conditions is we have to enforce seatbelt laws, and so to write you a citation for that, it's $10 in Idaho. Not a huge deal, but yeah. Be right back.
And just for future reference, I mean, I'm obviously an honest person, right? I told you I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. When people lie to you about that, say I lied to you about that, right? Just for my own knowledge. Do you honestly go back and look at that, or you just
With a seatbelt like this, I didn't check as I was coming up, so that's why I asked you.
usually?
I should. I noticed you weren't wearing it, and I'm on this emphasis, and like I said, I'm getting paid by ICD, and they want us to enforce the seatbelt law, so I was being more aware of that. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, have a good night.
Alrighty. All right. That's number one. Up. First impression, guys. First impressions of that traffic stop. Anything jump out at anybody? Did anything jump out at you at that traffic stop? Think about it. Think about it. I don't know. I watched this a couple times now, all right? It depends. Look. Here's well. If we had no idea who this person was, okay, we know him only because of this case, right? So if we're watching this random traffic stop, right? Somebody, we have no idea who he is. He's not tied to a murder case, right? What is your first impression of this? I mean, thinking in that context, probably nothing. Probably nothing at all, right? It's just some guy pulled over, you know, yeah, $10 for a seatbelt. Okay, fine. You know, whatever. You know, it's a blip on the map, right? It's a blip on the radar, right? Who cares? But of course, that's, you know, so that's without knowing who this person is, right? But let's add the context though into it, right? Because he's the one who, well, he's the one, right? Who did this supposedly and took a plea and right, blah blah blah, right. So does that change your perception of this traffic stop is the question. Does that change your perception of the traffic stop? And that's where we can get into a lot of problems here, because it depends, again, what lens you want to focus this through. If you take away the case and you take away Bryan Kohberger, first of all, we wouldn't know who this person is. It would be just some random person being stopped in Moscow, Idaho, for going 5 miles above the fucking speed limit, right? Which is a real pain in the ass. Well, you guys know that. You ever go 40 in a 35 and get pulled over for speeding? Yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, that's not the point. But is there any dynamic there in his talking to the officer that makes you pause or that gives you any sort of hesitation? That's my question for that one. I'm not going to answer that, and we're going to leave that right there, okay? That's for you guys. Now, if I include the context of what we know happened, and he's the lone wolf, he's the perpetrator, right, okay. Well, sure, I can add so many different brushstrokes now into this, into what I'm watching. So I got to be careful of that, very careful of my bias here, because now we're into bias territory. But we have to play in that territory because, well, we're trying to figure out some type of, who is this person, right? Again, this person is not sitting down doing 2-hour interviews. And so we don't have a chance to see, pick up on any patterns that he might have in answering questions, how he may deflect questions, right? Whether he's outright lying, that we can say, man, I think he's outright lying here. We have nothing to go on. We have no basis, right? Okay. So I'm just going to leave that one right there. We're going to move on to another one. You know what? No. To be fair, I'm going to give you my first assessment of this, okay? What do we know? What do we know? What we just saw there in this very brief clip, what do we glean? What do we glean, right? He likes to ask questions. That's number one. He likes to ask questions. And the questions that he's asking, they are the theme of these questions that he's asking, they speak to the mechanization of how things are done. Okay, you guys follow this, right? You guys, my garden, you know what I'm talking about, but think about it. The types of questions that he's asking, they speak to the inner workings of how something should or should not be done, right? Yes, yeah. He says, because he says that, he says, is that what you normally do, right? Or how do you track that? Or he's asking specifically about processes, right? Yes. And so that's one thing we have to keep in mind here. That gives us some type of insight into his thought process. He likes to ask questions. Even in a mundane traffic stop like this, right, where I get pegged for going 6 miles over the speed limit, he's asking questions that speak to process. That's very interesting. So that's one thing I'm noting here. That's one thing I'm writing down here. Okay, let's move on to the next.
Oh, you didn't think you could get away from me that? Hey, this is Screaming Stanley. Yeah, this prick thinks he can get away with things.
Work, and then maybe you can make it.
Can I ask you something?
Certainly.
Who gives a fuck what you think? That's the prime time, bitch.
Am I still allowed to go home soon?
You are all my children now.
Well, I hope you liked that little snippet of my honorable mention. And oh, by the way, my garden, I know you love Screaming Stanley. Hey, I got a comment on the last video. It said, why don't you talk in your normal voice? You're distracting from the narrative. And I thought to myself, well, this fucking idiot. I don't think this idiot's even seen the fucking channel once in his life. This fucking moron. What a moron. Hey, do me a favor. Before you comment on my video, why don't you go back and watch the other 390 I did, you fucking prick. Anyway, hey, excuse me. Yeah, Screaming Stanley's awake now. This fucking, my station manager, I was sleeping in my fucking cot in my office, right? I was trying to get some good sleep. And my office man, the station manager comes in. He starts poking me in the ribs, and he says, Stanley, you gotta get up. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what do you want? I'm trying to sleep here, you fucking asshole. He's like, look. And he showed me the latest, radio chart, data that just came out, and it comes out on a Sunday, by the way. And he's like, Stanley, you're at the top of the list, but there's someone right behind you. There's some prick. He's like climbing up the point system. I said, I can't. Oh, fuck him. I ain't gonna have that fucking shit. I'll go and find where the fuck he lives, and I'll drop him where he fucking bear. I'll drop him where I find him. But excuse me. That was my former life. No, maybe not. No, anyway. No, but here's what I'm working. Look, in order to stay on top, Stanley, Screaming Stanley, he's got his fingers in a lot of things here, all right? And here's what I'm working on right now. Besides my #1 radio station up here in the spirit realm, I'm also working on a book. And it's a sequel. And well, I'm gonna read. It's a rough draft. My garden, keep in mind, it's a rough draft. All right. But this is my sort of. Well, you'll see. Here it is. I'll read it to you. Okay. It's called The Boy in Blue, Part 2, Evil Santa's Revenge, by me, Screaming Stanley. Yes, SS. Rough draft. Yes, I said it was a rough draft. Okay, here we go. Chapter 1. It was a dark and stormy night. A 6'4" giant struggles within his blue blanket that his two-timing fucking whore mother wrapped him in before burning his body. Ashes stir from the basement. Lights flicker. Mom is at another crime con, making a buck off me. Alrighty. Here we go.
Hello, I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded. I think you know why I stopped you. You ran the red light.
What actually happened?
October 14th. This is approximately 1 month minus a few days before he supposedly committed this quadruple murder. Well, let's hear how this goes. Officer Dingus, is that her name? Officer Dingus. Hey, it would fit Moscow.
What happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
So
I was
forced
behind
to
you
turn
the whole
left.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically you're not supposed to enter the intersection at all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you run the red light. So that's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Yep.
I'll tell you what. He has the worst luck when it comes to fucking traffic. I mean, I swear to God, this guy gets pulled over for like the smallest stupid shit. Oh my God. I mean, seriously, think about this guy. So what happened here is the light was turning yellow, right? And so he was trying to make the light. And so, not being from Idaho, all right, he tries to make it before the light turns red. But unfortunately, because Idaho is one of these shitty states that they don't know how to first of all, they don't know how to synchronize their traffic lights properly. And there's no real, how do I put this? Counting of when a light is going to turn or not. Now, other states, they're smart and they know how to time their traffic lights properly. Idaho is not one of these states. So he's pulling out and he gets caught in between the yellow and the red. And the light turns red right when he's about to go through the intersection. The light turns red and he has to stop right in the middle of the intersection. And this is where this is why he got pulled over. Yeah, that's the context. The same.
Do you have the registration and insurance?
Yes, I do. Didn't your other prick stop me about 2 weeks ago for this shit? No, that was different.
Let me just get this for you out.
You what?
I'm just gonna get this out for you.
Okay.
What are we looking for here, guys? Oh, sorry, guys. Real quick, what are we looking for here, guys? This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for any type of consistency. I'm looking for any type of pattern. I'm looking for any speech pattern. I'm looking for any type of questions that sound similar to what we've heard before. I'm looking for any similarities. That's all I'm doing here. All right? In this, we don't have much detail, obviously, but that's what I'm doing here. That's my process here. So let's carry on.
So would you explain that to me a little bit further? So in Pennsylvania, when you're stuck like in the intersection, you have to make the left. So what would the appropriate thing for me to have done there? Just
You're not supposed to block an intersection like that in Washington, so just by you blocking the intersection, that's technically a ticketable violation, and then you're running a red light, so it's another ticketable offense. So you're not supposed to proceed into the intersection until you can go, because a lot of people do what you just did, right? Is like you're sitting in the intersection waiting, and then turns, and then you're blocking, so.
Yeah, there was a little bit of confusion with speeding because someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing, and then they put on their light to turn. So I thought that maybe they were letting me go through.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, like right before I made the turn, there was someone who made a right. They didn't have their signal on, so I wasn't sure if they were just waiting.
Yeah, so I would just advise just don't enter the intersection until you can go, so you don't get stuck. Let's see.
But in that
That's not a good answer. That's not a good answer. And here, this is actually a good example here. He's asking a very good question. And the stupid fucking Moscow idiot officer, well, they're all dumb. She doesn't know how to answer his question. In fact, she doesn't answer his question. He's trying to ask her, what should I have done in that situation to avoid getting a ticket? That's his question. And she doesn't answer the question. See? And he almost gave her the answer by saying, should I have backed up through, right? That's what he was motioning. Did you catch that? He was motioning behind him to say, do you think I should have backed up, though, in this situation? But this stupid Moscow cunt, and I'm sorry, I don't use that word, but I hate everybody in Moscow who is remotely involved in this case. They're all idiots. She doesn't answer his question. She just says, oh, hey, next time, try not to get yourself caught in that intersection. That's essentially what her answer was here. Yeah, Moscow, Idaho. You know what? I think, here's what I think you all need to do. I think you all need to, I think I said this in one video before. You all need to dig the biggest fucking pit in the biggest cornfield or potato field that you have out there, and you all need to drop yourself in it. Because you're fucking morons!
In that situation, the best thing to do then would be back up.
The back up, right. He knew the answer already. And he was trying to get her to tell him that answer. He already knew the answer here. Remember, he's not stupid. But he was trying to get her to tell him that answer. And she totally blew the question.
I don't know if there's a best thing to do in that situation, because you're either going to back up into somebody or you're going to run a red light. So.
No. See, she's an idiot, guys. This is what I'm saying. She's still not answering the question. So basically, she is saying here is, well, you don't have a choice here, asshole, and you're going to get a ticket regardless. Essentially, that's what she's saying to him. She offers no solutions. Actually, there is a solution. If there's no car behind you, yes, you're going to back up. However, if there is a car behind you, well, yeah, you're kind of fucked. So what do? Well, you're obviously not going to block the intersection with your car. You're going to go ahead forward, right? Even though it's a red light. Now, the ultimate problem here is it's not Bryan Kohberger. Well, I'm just saying, the ultimate problem here in this, what we're watching, is not Bryan Kohberger. And this is going to, hey, You wanted the best, you got the best, all right? The ultimate problem here is Moscow, Idaho doesn't know how to time their lights properly. Or if we're talking about Pullman, Washington, they don't know how to time their lights properly. So you have situations where you try to go through an intersection where some idiot on the right-hand side of you, they're sitting there and they're not turning. We see this every day in our normal lives. Fucking morons who don't know how to fucking drive. You know? So you got an idiot there who you think he's going to make a right turn, but they don't have their signal on. And so now you're forced between either trying to be a psychic, you know, with these fucking morons who can't drive, you know, and then he got himself stuck in between a light. But anyway, she's not offering any solution here. She's saying, well, you're pretty much fucked then, man. But here, the real problem is Idaho and Washington State, learn how to time your goddamn traffic lights properly. That's the ultimate problem we're talking about. And that's an engineering problem, you fucking morons. I told you,
Or you're gonna be sitting in
Master Nature. We want to get to the root cause of things. Well, that's the root cause of this.
intersection. There's not really a great option there.
No, there isn't. And you're not offering any great option either, cunty.
So, yeah, where I'm from Pennsylvania, we actually don't have like crosswalks.
Yeah.
So even if you're kind of slightly, there's a little bit more leeway as well. Like there are a few lines. Like there's one.
Right.
One line, and there's another one. Like there's like a.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Margin from which
She doesn't
you
care.
can actually kind of put your vehicle, place your vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know laws vary state to state, but there is a law in Washington for blocking.
Sorry,
an
this is
intersection, like that,
Washington.
for
Sorry,
seeing
guys.
through when you don't, when you're just stalling. I forget the actual verbiage. I can find it for you, but it's like stalling, blocking an intersection.
Yeah. I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to.
Oh no, yeah, I
Yeah,
can find
not
it for you.
with
Yeah.
anything. But,
1 second.
Hmm.
That looks good.
Looks like a psychopath, doesn't it? It's a real
I don't see
psychopath there, right?
Pennsylvania registration like at all. Okay, let's see. Expires November 22nd, or 2022. Okay. And
yeah, one of those is actually.
yeah, okay, that looks good. I'll hand that back to you. I'm just gonna go check your info. I'll try to find that RCW, the law for you, and I'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right. Sierra 331, code 4 driver.
Go ahead.
Last of Kohberger, King, Ocean, Henry, Boy, Edward, Robert, George, Edward, Robert, First of Brian, Boy, Robert, Young, Adam, Nora, Middle C, Charles, date of birth 112194, Mount Washington.
Gotta read your chart there, huh? Gotta make sure you understand what you're charging them with, right? You gotta study. Huh?
Hey, it looks like a Chinese menu. Okay. I want the egg foo young. Where's the egg foo young? Okay.
1637.
All right.
Okay, so I found it. So I don't know what in Pennsylvania where you go to find laws, but in Washington it's called the Revised Code of Washington. So I'll try to turn my brightness up, but it's just called an RCW. So it's RCW 46.61.202. So it's no driver shall enter an intersection unless there is significant space on the other side of the intersection. To accommodate the vehicle he is operating without obstructing the passage of other vehicles, despite any traffic control signal indications to proceed. So you had a green light, so you're thinking you can go, but you're blocking the intersection. So that's, if you're ever curious in any laws in Washington, just Revised Code of Washington. So I'm not writing a ticket or anything like that today. I understand you're from Pennsylvania, but in the future, don't proceed through the intersection. You can't get stopped for that alone, unless you can clearly just clear it right away.
Okay.
So
then basically, I understand.
You're just supposed to wait behind the white line. Drivers do it all the time, but
It never even occurred to me that that was actually something wrong, but
yeah.
Well, except for the fact that I was blocking the crosswalk, which is what
Yeah.
I went through.
And states vary a lot from laws. Like Pennsylvania might not even have that law, but in Washington we do.
I'm actually just from a very rural area, so we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh.
Unless I visit an area where there are
Gotcha.
crosswalks, and then it's not very frequent.
Yeah.
I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law. I wasn't trying to
No, not at all. Like I understand you're not from here, so if you don't, a lot of people don't know a bunch of laws. Like I only know it because this is what I do. But yeah, if you're ever curious on any more laws, just RCW, and they can be hard to read because it's in like legal language. But hope that helps.
Definitely.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Definitely, you too.
Thanks.
Well, there you go, guys. Yeah. Oh, wow. Some scary stuff there. Oh, my God. Yeah. Just trying to figure out what's going on and, understand the laws. And, well, he's not from the state. And, oh, my God. Man, he really gave me some strange vibes there, didn't he, guys? I mean, geez. I mean, who would have thought? Just 29 days later, he would take out 4 people in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre style fashion. Yeah, crazy how that is, right? Weird. Yeah. I don't know. There you go. Hey, let's move on to the next one.
Chapter 2, Crime Con. Mom stands there, oblivious to my pain. My energy causes my urn to fall over, and my ashes spill out all over the basement. I'm alive. First stop, Evil Bill Thompson, the inverse Santa Claus.
My girl awaits for me in tender time. My girl is mine. She is the world. She is my girl.
Honey with cinnamon before bed equals 0.
It was Hunter, my son Hunter, who was the one who had to call and tell us that Ethan wasn't here. And it was really hard for him because he could not say it. He just kept saying on the phone that day, Mom, Ethan's not here. And he just repeated himself, Ethan's not here. And I kept saying to him, well, go and get him. Go and get him. I mean, it made perfect sense. And he would say, you don't understand, he's not here. And to the point where I was like, go and get him then. I mean, and he finally said to me, no, you don't understand, Mom. Ethan and Xana are not on this earth anymore.
They're dead. Just say they're dead.
So I...
What is with these people?
I left my grocery cart there in the middle of the produce department.
Yeah.
I ran out of the grocery store, and I called Jim. That was the toughest thing that I've ever had to do.
Hey, you awake?
And we met at our warehouse. We had to go to LaConner.
We met at our warehouse.
Take care of our dog. I mean, it was all these things had to happen.
Yeah, we had to take care of the dog.
What happened next is that we had to get into the car, and we had to make this journey.
Yeah, I had to take care of the goddamn dog. And my murdered son. Okay.
And I will tell you that is the second toughest thing I've ever done in my life. Is
the second toughest thing you ever done in your life. God, I can only imagine what the first toughest thing is. The second toughest thing you had to do in your life was drive to your very own son's fucking house where he's murdered. That's the second hardest thing you ever done in your life. I can't imagine what the first one is. I don't know. Not getting the groceries you want at Albertsons. Maybe that's the first hardest. Oh my fucking God.
To drive in the car that day.
Uh-huh.
So there were a couple of things that happened.
Nice jewelry, Mom.
One, we got caught behind a traffic accident just outside of Everett. So we're sitting there. And at that time, our kids' phones had all been confiscated.
As they should have been.
And our kids had been taken to the police.
Because they're suspects. Right?
Department, so we had
especially Hunter.
no communication with our kids. And there's just no, I couldn't get anybody to answer at the, police department at this point. It had spread like wildfire. People were calling us. And then most of the end of that trip is in what we call in Washington State the Palouse.
The Palouse.
And there is no cell
service.
So on top of, everything else, we had no cell service. Anyways, we pulled into Moscow that night at about 9:30, picked our kids up. We had to go to the police station and have a meeting. And we wound up, they put us all up in a hotel that night. And the four of us
so generous of them.
Laid in this hotel room. And there wasn't a lot of sleep that happened that night, but early in the morning, I got up.
Decide to write a book.
I told Jim, I'm going for a walk, and I walked to the house. My son was still there.
Your son was still at the house? Oh, you mean Ethan?
In it.
Yeah, okay.
And I just stood outside of it for a little bit.
Uh-huh. Okay, all right. There you go. Oh, God. Well, hey, at least there's some more emotion there in that one. Jeez. Gotta be fair. Yeah, not much more emotion. Now, this is her original Crime Con appearance. The one we just saw there, she's professional now. But this is her very first one. Let's watch it.
Chapin, and I'm Ethan's mom.
Uh-huh. Oh, let's applaud for her. I'm promoting my book. It's called Little Boy Who Died in Blue, and I buried him in the corn. Because he pissed me off. Okay, let's get on with it. Great.
And I actually didn't sit through it.
Where are you?
It's too hard to watch, but I do want all of you to know that these were four of the greatest kids. And that all of the great things that you read about them is legitimately true. And I
like they were drug addicts?
On behalf of my own son.
They're alcoholics?
An incredible human. And we miss them all.
They snorted Adderall every day? Okay.
But it's a very strange situation.
I'm just saying, that's what they did.
I'm actually not a true crime follower. But I am now thrust into the epicenter of something that has become pretty incredible. But anyways, don't forget these kids. I appreciate, I did watch the beginning where you spoke a little bit on behalf of all four kids. And they're amazing. They were amazing.
With cute little button nose and cute little button smiles. And they're like, oh, what made him amazing, Mom? What made him so amazing, Mom? Besides their cute little button smiles and their cute little button noses. And they're magical. And they're magical. Yeah, but what was it about your son that you actually loved about him? What made him unique in this world? And they still cannot describe their son with any degree of depth, with any degree of integrity, with any degree of, yes, you could say, yes, I can totally understand who this person was. Because it's all about a cute little button nose and a cute little button smile, and let's send them all off to the fraternities and sororities, because that's where we learn to get those cute little button noses and those cute little button smiles. But we don't learn anything else. What we learn here is to have facades. That's all we learn, is to have facades. And even mom, and caught up in this delusion here. Mom loved the fact that her son Hunter and her daughter Maisie, she relished and was proud in the fact that their statuses were elevated because Ethan was fucking murdered. And she relished in that. She was happy about that. She loved the fact that her other 2 children, their popularity status got elevated. She was so proud of that. That's what she wanted. See, that was her status symbol. You know, that's what her values were. She wanted her kids to be popular at the University of Idaho, and it didn't matter, despite this horrific, tragic event, she got over it rather quickly and had no desire to see the perpetrator who possibly could have did this crime. She had no interest or desire in seeing justice for her son, Ethan. Instead, she decides to come to CrimeCon and get a few fucking boo-hoos behind her back right as she's about to promote her fucking book. Fuck you. Beware of Mrs. Chapin.
But guess what? Beware of the garden, because we know what you are. You're a fucking parasite. You're a bloodsucker. And all you cared about when this happened, how could you make money off your dead son's fucking name? Fuck you, Stacy.
Corn woman, I want to make some corn.